Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Tayo Salam. This is what the show looks like. Starting off with what is going on with the Tigress, that's the senior women's national basketball team of the country. They are saying no to part payments of money owes them since the 2018 FIBA World Cup. So it's no to part payments of money owed to the Tigress since 2018 FIBA World Cup. They want their full salaries and wages and allowances paid before they can represent the country again. Also on sport this morning, the sports minister is reacting to the situation and he's assuring the Tigress of full payments of their salaries and wages in due course. Also on sports this morning, the Lakers, they've ended their preseason schedule on a losing note. As a matter of fact, they've ended the preseason winless. They lost 6 games, won none. The NBA season is just around the corner. It's going to tip off in about 5 days from now. We've got reaction coming from the big three. That's Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, as well as the coach, Frank Vogel. I'm not flying solo today on the show. That's because I'm being joined by David Olayinka, a sports journalist who's going to be making his debut on the show. David, good morning. It's great to have you on sport this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tayo. Good to be here this morning.
Indeed. Exciting times for basketball fans.
Yeah.
The NBA is just around the corner. I mean, it felt like the last season just ended last week.
A few weeks ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're on to new season already. But before we get into basketball and the Lakers, and let's move on to boxing. Finally, Deontay Wilder has broken the silence following that incredible trilogy bout against Tyson Fury in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people were waiting for Wilder to speak. Finally, it said some things, and we're just going to take a quote of Wilder. What is that to say before I get the thoughts of David Olayinka? It says, and I quote, I would be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed in the outcome, but after reflecting on my journey, I now see that what God has wanted me to experience is far greater than what I expected to happen. It goes on to say, we didn't get the win, but a wise man once said, the victories are within the lessons. I have learned that sometimes you have to lose to win. Wilder being very philosophical this morning. Although I wanted to win, I enjoyed seeing the fans win even more. Hopefully, I proved that I am a true warrior and a true king in the sport. And last but not the least, I'd like to congratulate Tyson Fury for his victory and thank him for the great historical memories that will last forever. Deontay Wilder, to this day.
Finally, he's come out to admit. So
Yeah.
the second fight, we saw him coming out to make excuses. So I was thinking, okay, how long is it going to take Wilder to come out now to make another excuse? What's the excuse he's going to give this time around?
From where?
None.
No.
Absolutely.
That was
so
a conclusive
he had to swallow
ending.
his bite the bullet and swallow his pride and said, okay, you know what? I lost to a better man, now going philosophical about the whole thing. Hopefully he has learned his lesson. You can only get better from this point onward. So you learn from your mistakes and your errors and try and improve on yourself and be a better person. So it was a boxing lesson. It was handed down by Tyson Fury to him. So he would learn from that. Like he said, the fans are the biggest winners. We enjoyed the fights so much.
Thoroughly.
Awesome. And let's hope we can get to see a better Wilder in the not-too-distant future. He's a fantastic boxer. Take nothing away from him. He's got a good right hand, with very, very powerful.
Yeah.
So let's hope he sees him somewhere later in the not-too-distant future at some point.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's come out to dismiss any retirement talks. Some people were saying perhaps it's time to retire. You're going to be 36 very soon. But it's come out to say, nah, that's not the case. As a matter of fact, his promoters as well have come out to say Wilder's going to be fighting very soon and not too distant future. So we're looking forward to seeing Deontay Wilder in the ring very soon again. Right now, he's got a heel up. He's got a broken hand during the fight. He's got undergo surgery. It's going to be out for about 3 months. And after then, they'll decide what he wants to do
the next step,
with his career.
He has to recuperate, no doubt about it.
Fingers crossed. And like you said, the fans are thoroughly enjoyed that fight. As a matter of fact, the trilogy of Wilder and Fury is up there with the best we've seen in boxing history.
Absolutely. It goes down with Ali Frazier.
Ali Frazier.
And 1 and 2, Super Fight 1 and 2, then the thriller in the Manila. It's a George Foreman. So it goes on one of the best fights in history. So we've seen loads of fights in the history from the Muhammad Ali era to the Mike Tyson era. Now we're seeing a Tyson Fury era, giving us a fantastic boxing bout that I loved every bit of it. From the first one to the second one to the third one, absolutely fantastic. Tyson Fury just took it a notch at each and every of the bouts.
Indeed.
So, and it just shows that he's class.
Indeed. Tyson Fury, the greatest heavyweight champion of his era. That's why I said, not me. Austin Okonakman is ready to join us as well, too. Austin is joining us from London, as usual. Austin, good morning. How are you today?
Further greetings, Tyre. I'm doing good. Good to be on the show. Shout out to everyone watching us.
Indeed. Your thoughts on Deontay Wilder finally coming out to pay deserved respect to the Gypsy King?
That was what we wanted, you know. I was waiting for that also. Good show of sportsmanship, you know. But I wish he did it the very night he lost that fight because he was caught on camera saying, "I don't respect you" to Tyson Fury. And that was why Tyson Fury went back to call him a sore loser, you know. And I told you the other time I spoke to you that it's because defeat is painful. But sometimes you just, as a sportsman, as a professional, you know, you just take these things and know that, look, there are times that it goes your way and other times it doesn't go your way. So Deontay Wilder has just shown us that, yes, he's human. He can go wrong and then correct it again. And with this, he might just pick himself back up and become that champion that he has always been, you know. So, but for now, it's all about Tyson Fury. And I told you the other day that maybe we can just be, you know, greedy and ask for Fury Wilder 4 because they gave us some good boxing, you know, that will get us talking. And Deontay, you know, re-echoed it in that statement saying, you know, shout out to Tyson Fury for, you know, being part of that heavyweight contest that will go down in history. So let's give thumbs up to Deontay Wilder for coming out to do the right thing.
Indeed, a true warrior, Deontay Wilder. All the best for the future. Hopefully, you can return to the ring as soon as possible. Perhaps we even get to see the Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua fight. We never saw all of these years. Fingers crossed. We'll see how that pans out. Let's leave boxing for now and let's go straight to the NBA. Like I said at the start of the show, it's about 5 days until tip-off for the new season. And all the teams are pretty much rounding off their preparations for the season. For the LA Lakers, it's not gone according to plan at all. They've lost 6 straight games with a big 3. They were in action last night. As a matter of fact, early this morning against the Sacramento Kings, LeBron James played, Russell Westbrook played, Anthony Davis played, but they still ended up losing 116 to 112. David, what's going on with the Lakers?
I think it's just, well, it's a good thing it's preseason. You understand? It's just to get your team in shape before the season kicks off proper. So make all the mistakes you can make before the season gets started and correct it when the season gets started. So, yes, we expected a lot from the big three from LeBron James, Russell, Carmelo Anthony, AD, Anthony Davis, and all that. And all these guys played. You understand? So there's no excuse. So hopefully what they can say is that, okay, they've learned from their mistakes. And they have, because, you can give them maybe the first 2-3 games that they lost. They weren't gelling. The synergy wasn't there. You get me? So, but 6 in a row, that's a lot. And losing to the Kings twice. I mean, sorry, the Warriors twice. And one with Steph Curry, the other without Steph Curry. And you wonder that what is going on. So, in my own opinion, I feel, they're still the favorites. One of the favorites to go. I see them going all the way to the playoffs.
Really? Even
getting to the finals might be a hard asking, but they would make the playoffs, no doubt about that. So sustaining that run in the playoffs would definitely get to be another thing. So in my opinion, it's them having an healthy team all through the season. These guys are old. Experience-wise, they're the best. You understand? One of the best. You understand? But in terms of age, they got aging players the likes of Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James as well. So, in my own opinion, now that said, the recruiting was right. They also have Rajon Rondo there as well. So, the recruiting process was right. But I would have preferred, probably would have gone for these guys, Bradley Beal, ahead of Russell Westbrook. But they decided to go for Ross, no doubt about that. Or a CP3, Chris Paul, in the point guard position, and move LeBron to small forward. But they had their ideas and all that. So I feel that they made the mistakes now. So I think they could learn from that going into the season when it starts proper. But if I'm going to tip someone from the Western Conference, don't look beyond the Golden State Warriors. Absolutely fantastic team. We saw them with set, without set. Klay Thompson is yet to return. James Wiseman out. So at some point, they'll make a return during the season. So I see them making the playoffs. Definitely, no doubt about that. Then they should get to the later stage, probably the semi-finals or the finals of the playoffs. So they are a good team. You cannot write them off. Also, the Miami Heat, they did some good recruiting during the off-season.
Yeah.
They brought in Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker from the winning Milwaukee Bucks. In addition to Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Victor Oladipo, you know. So they've got a great team, good chemistry within the Miami Heat. So they lost last season because they had so many games, the pandemic and the short season. So it was they had a lot of tired players, so it affected them. They've been blown out in the first round against the Milwaukee Bucks, who were the eventual winners. So I think the Miami Heat should do well this season. Also, the Chicago Bulls recruited well in the offseason, the likes of Caruso, joining Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, fantastic players in there. So I feel the Chicago Bulls will also get to run at the playoffs. A good team, no doubt about that.
You can already giving us a little preview of the NBA season, 5 days until tip-off. We still have some days to do a comprehensive preview of it, so stick with us on Sport this morning. But before then, let's take a listen to the post-game comments coming from LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and Frank Vogel.
Not concerning. You know, you don't want to go win this. You know, you want to get a couple wins along the way. I mean, just feel what that's like. And that's the name of the game. We're here to win basketball games. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's really about, you know, the practice work that we're putting in. These are practice games where you're working on things and, you know, you're building rhythm and timing and all those things. And you're just getting to the finish line of the preseason healthy. You know, that's the biggest thing that you can, is you get as much rhythm and timing as you can while remaining healthy. And, you know, obviously we didn't finish I don't think we finished any of our fourth quarters, you know, with our main group. So, you know, we didn't win any, but, you know, we're really not concerned about it. You know, I think we saw some flashes of who we look like tonight and who we're going to look like, you know, come next Tuesday.
The first two quarters gave up 35, 36. In the fourth quarter, did a better job of 21-point quarter, 24. So that's what we got to lean on, because when we get stops, it's very difficult to stop us in transition.
Is that just attention to detail in that?
Just learning. Everybody's learning a new defense. So we kind of got to learn each other, learn our tendencies, learn kind of what we're doing. So in the process of that, we got to make sure we just stay consistent to our rules and stick to them. And then, you know, if we need to make adjustment, we will.
I felt good. That's what preseason for, you know, try to get in the rhythm. And that's how I want to play majority of the games, play 5 out of 6. To try to find that rhythm. You know, didn't shoot it well tonight, but I think overall, you know, I found a great rhythm as far as, you know, shooting the basketball, conditioning, you know, defensive tendencies, things like that. So I feel good going to the opening night.
As the games went on and on and on, you know, we're starting to learn each other. We try to learn each other every quarter, every time we was on the floor. You know, so that was the biggest thing that we can build from the games that we played.
As King James, not too bothered with the Lakers winless preseason. The same thing for the coach, Frank Vogel. It's all about going into the new season healthy, and that's what they really want. But someone was said, winning is an habit, so is losing as well. So you got to be very careful, because that's no momentum whatsoever going into the new season. So we'll see how it pans out for the Lakers later. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll still be talking basketball. This time around, we're talking about the Brooklyn Nets. They'll be playing the season, I mean, as it is right now, without Kyrie Irving. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We're still talking basketball. Before we went on the break, I told you about the Brooklyn Nets as well. So they actually won their last preseason game without Kyrie Irving. You all know Kyrie's stance on being vaccinated. He's not going to be available to play for the Brooklyn Nets the home games. And but the Nets have come out to say, you're not going to practice, you're not going to play, you know, traveling until you comply fully with the mandate from New York City. And a lot of people are wondering how that's going to affect the championship aspirations of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, basically the laws get to be changed sometimes. So he was training in the one of the offices. So basically what the law says that in indoor gyms, in indoor arenas, you cannot. Yeah, it's private. So but when he's in an office, so he had a training session with some of his colleagues inside an so-called office. They went around that. Then also in San Diego as well. So, but in the city of New York, because of the laws, he cannot get to do that. So, but it might get to relax because Steve Nash said something in that regard. But they play without Kyrie. They've been able to win. So they've got some good additions in the likes of Patty Mills in that team, Joe Harris, alongside Kevin Durant and James Harden. So they've got a good good team offensively. The front court, absolutely fantastic. So the problem will be the defense. But we've seen them played and win some games without Kyrie, so missing Kyrie will be a big factor, but not too big, you understand? Okay. They should be able to survive around that. They've got LaMarcus Aldridge, who will give them some
Joe Harris as well.
Defense, and also Blake Griffin, though they might not be in their prime, but they can contribute and do a really good job. So they'll miss Kyrie, no doubt, but I don't think they'll miss him too much. Yes, on the road, they would have him, but at home, might be a bit of a... But I don't think it's going to be too long. The laws will definitely be relaxed at some point.
You think so? You think
if not,
the laws will
Kyrie just have to take the jab.
Just take the jab.
He has to.
Indeed. Anyways, Kevin Durant hasn't spoken about how they intend to navigate the season without Kyrie Irving.
I feel, I mean, when you're losing somebody like Kyrie Irving, I mean, it's hard to, you know, on the fly just figure out where you're going to get that production from. So I think over time, we're going to start to figure out which guys going to step up and play and fill that void of, you know, those minutes, those shots, those opportunities. I think we'll do it as a collective. But as far as leadership in the locker room and James being vocal, I mean, everybody has good dialogue. Steve is, you know, the main voice. You know, coaches do a great job. So I think we all are in conversation about what we need to do and how we feel about the game. So I feel like everybody will help in that area as far as leadership.
Kevin Durant right there, hoping that everyone or every other player will step up in the absence of Kyrie Irving as they aim to win an NBA championship later this season. The fans have also been talking. The fans, of course, they pay big money to watch these superstars in action. They've also been reacting to the impending absence of Kyrie Irving for the season.
I say let's go. Seeing cards ready. Please use all available entrances. Let's go Nets. If you have a bag, please use the 4 doors to the left. I repeat, if you have a bag, please use the 4 doors.
His body, his choice. I mean, it's nothing wrong with how he feels. If he don't want to get it, he don't want to get it. But I feel like it's kind of wrong that they're forcing him to get it just so he can play. But hey, I support Kyrie's decision 100%.
Well, we're really disappointed that Kyrie's not playing. He's such a talented guy to watch on the court, and the fans are really going to miss that. Society's going to miss that. But he has decided to take a stand, and we respect that, and we hope to see him play soon.
Like my dad said, eventually it'll come around. I think at the end of the day he'll get vaccinated, but I think he just wants to prove his point first, and we miss him in Brooklyn, so hopefully sooner the better.
I think that this whole situation has become very political. However, it is an individual thing. Each individual has the right to determine what's best for him and his family, so it's personal.
Well, definitely every person has the right to do whatever they want to do, but in this case, since you are part of a team and actually you're part of the community, so what is the thing? Like, you need to definitely follow the rules. Everybody's doing the same.
I mean, he's well off already. Like, it's his own decision, you know what I'm saying? That he's dealing with the consequences. Like, he can do whatever he wants, you know. They signed him, you know, so he can do whatever he wants. It's not like what we do, that doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying?
Fans of the Brooklyn Nets are reacting to Kyrie Irving's absence from the team because of his vaccination stance. Austin, quick one on this one. Kyrie, absolute superstar in the NBA, refusing to take the jab for personal reasons, and because of that, he's going to miss a lot of games for the Brooklyn Nets, as well as a lot of money as well too. Stands to lose about $70 million if he doesn't play this season.
Yeah, Tayo, you know, particularly because of the balance it brings to that next team, you know, his quality. You heard one of the fans say that he's such a talented player. The chronicles of COVID-19 continues, and you heard someone saying that it's kind of political, but Kyrie has made it clear that he's not trying to make a political statement. He has said it repeatedly that he respects doctors who continue to try to keep people safe and also those who are vaccinated, while also respecting those who aren't vaccinated, you know. And he says, look, nobody's mandated to do this. But this is tricky, you know, because people have begun to question his level of professionalism, not considering his teammates, not considering team philosophy, the objectives for the season. And I love the fact that Ivan has been cool on this, and let's just respect his decision and see and see how he's going to deal with it. But Nets general manager Sean Marks, he has said that their decision not to let Ivan join the team until he gets at least one vaccine shot was made ultimately by him and the owner Josiah, and it is for the safety of the other guys, because truly COVID-19 has rocked the world, and different persons have different opinion about this virus. But when you think safety, then you should see the need for the vaccine. Nobody's trying to judge Kyrie and his decision.
Nope.
But, you know, in sport and when it's about the team, everybody's operating with one goal, one objective, and it's sad. And you could tell, you know, from Durant's voice that they're really going to miss him, and he didn't hide it. So let's just wish them all the best and hope that Kyrie will come around and, you know, maybe take the vaccine and play again for the Nets.
Indeed, fingers crossed that situation can change quickly. Like David has said as well, too, Kyrie might just turn up and decide to take the jab eventually, when he must have made his point, stood his ground, and let everyone know that you're not going to force me into doing what I don't want to do, or take into my body what I don't want to take. All right, let's go on, still talking basketball now, to another sad situation back home in Nigeria. The Tigers and their unpaid allowances and wages are being owed them by the Nigerian Basketball Federation, as well as the ministry as well too. They've come out with a statement to say pretty much that they want all of their monies. They're not taking no part payments. Is either they get that, or they won't report to camp. David, this situation is very, very disheartening, and it's a shame we're even talking about it.
Shouldn't have gotten to degenerated to this level. But I don't blame the girls for standing their ground. You understand? They've played competition after competition with promises and promises and promises, and they can't take it they can't take it anymore. So they have to get paid. So they've worked for their money. They should be paid. So it's sad that it's come down to this, but this is the only way I believe they can't get their money. Throw it out in the open. Let everybody wash their dirty linen in public. Still, they get their desires heard. So it's sad, but what has to be done needs to be done.
What has to be done has to be done. Indeed, Austin, from their statements, they stated 3 items that are non-negotiable. The total amount owed them, they need to improve travel conditions as well. They want improved travel conditions, as well as the hiring of a general managers. These 3 conditions are non-negotiable. Austin, I know you've got a very You've got a lot of time for these Tigers players, so I imagine you're not feeling very good about what is going on right now.
You know, Tayo, this is really disappointing, because I've been following and giving this team maximum attention since I think 2014, and they've been on a steady rise, you know, except for what happened at the Olympics, and we know that the Olympics is a big stage. And the question I'm asking the ministry, the MBBF, how can you treat a team that is performing this way, you know? And it got to the point that these girls couldn't just take it anymore. I've been speaking to some of them, you know, very close to them. I don't supposed to have Adora Ilono, but they're just watching to see how this will unfold. They chained up Tayo, went to the Afro basket and won, you know, and with the statement we've seen from the ministry, and then the interview we had from the Prem Secretary, Ismail Abubakar, they didn't let us know that they were talking about part payments. And these girls are not just taking it, you know, pay us our complete money, you know, and then hire a general manager and improve travel conditions. Ezine Kalu, for instance, talked about how she traveled for about 25 hours, you know, and that isn't good for the psychology of a player who is going for a major tournament. We'll continue to stand with the D-Tigress. The ministry and the MBBF, they need to do the right thing, you know, because these girls, they've represented the country so well. They've given their best. That picture, the former president of the MBBF and the minister, when they brought back the AfroBasket, three-peat tire, back to back to back, dominated Africa, gave us good representation. So when they speak, we should listen to them. Absolutely. And they think that they did better as a team when they had a general manager. So hire a general manager. They've said these things are non-negotiable, and if these things are not done, then they say goodbye to the World Championships. This isn't the time for us to start asking questions or trying to make them feel like, oh, what you said isn't true. And the statement of we're waiting for the men to bring their bank accounts before. No, the ladies have said what they want. Just sort them out. Take care of them, and let's just close this chapter.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that complicated, right, Austin?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Oh, dear. It's a shame, really. We're talking about basics right here. Monies, allowances, wages, travel conditions, general manager for a basketball team. These are the most basic of requirements. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case with the D-Tigress. The sport minister, Sunday Derrick, has also been reacting, pretty much trying to assure the players that they will get all of their monies very soon.
Every athlete that wears the Nigerian colors is a commitment, is a sacrifice. And as minister, I've made every effort to make sure that they're fully supported. But I also work within a system where allocation of resources is based on certain critical factors. What we have done is to make sure that we push the files, we do the documentation, and the process of ongoing. I share the pains. This is allowances from 2017 when I was not even a minister. But is it something that government has, on an incremental basis, tried to address? I know that part of this money have been paid. As resources become available to government, they're able to meet most of the demands that come to government from different MDAs. In this case, I understand the pain, but I want to put it on record that the ministry has never slept at the switch. We spelled out the dates, the letters we've written, the meetings we've had at the ministry level. We've made very robust case, and we have received very good signals that very soon these payments will be made.
Hopefully, the girls can get their monies, and we can move on to better things. And the next assignment for the Tigers is the World Cup qualifiers as the FIBA World Cup. And hopefully all of this is resolved before then, because they have stated very clearly that if they don't get their monies, they will not be reporting to camp. And that will be so sad for a team on a steady rise and looking very good. Hopefully, David, all of this resolved as soon as possible.
Hopefully, it has to be, because for the girls to be in the right psyche for the next competition.
You just said it now, the psychological impact as well. So we haven't even talked about that, because at the back of their minds, they will know that this guy doesn't really care about us. So who knows what kind of performance they're going to put out there.
So what they're asking is just the basics. It's not rocket science.
Too bad. Anyways, so that's it from basketball for now. We will continue to monitor that situation. And as soon as the girls get their monies, we'll be letting you know on Sport This Morning. Let's move on now to football and talk about the CAF Champions League as well as the CAF Confederation Cup. Nigerian teams will be in action this weekend, starting with the final qualifying round in the CAF Champions League, as Rivers United taking on Al Hilal of Sudan, while in the CAF Confederation Cup, it's Eimba will be in action against the Gambas of Senegal, while Bayelsa United will be taking on CS Sfaxien of Tunisia. I'm not going to do this segment alone. That's because Fisayo Dairo is going to join us, and Fisayo Dairo, of course, is our expert analyst when it comes to Nigerian football. Fisayo, good morning. It's great to have you on the show.
Good morning to you, Tayo. Good morning, David and Ayanka. Good to see you guys this morning. And of course, to us in Okonakman in London.
Indeed. Let's just dive straight into it, starting with Rivers United taking on Al Hilal.
Yeah, going to be a difficult game, no doubt about that. You rightly mentioned that this is the penultimate round before the group stage of the competition, and this is the stage that tends to swallow Nigerian teams over the years. Out of the last 7 editions, at this particular stage, only 2 Nigerians escaped. Nobi Stars in 2018 when they defeated Gomaya of Kenya, and of course Enyimba in 2016 when they also defeated the 12 Israel of Tunisia. So this time, for Rivers United, they fell short at this stage in 2017, also against the Sudanese side, but that was Al-Merik Omdurman. But this time around, they even faced a stronger Omdurman side in Al Hilal of Sudan. But right now, I think they are a very motivated side. They got to this stage courtesy of a win home and away against the young African of Tanzania, the one called Yanga. So although it's unfortunate that the league is not on at this moment, there is that element of competitiveness that the league being on could have added to their play, but that is not there at the moment. But if they could have negotiated the Tanzanians home and away, you could think that they could fancy their chances or against these Al Hilal side who have really been sort of a regular customer in the group stage of the CAF Champions League or Confederation Cup.
I see what you're saying in terms of Rivers are fancying the chances. But you will admit as well to the Al Hilal, a lot stronger side compared to the young Tanzanians, young boys from Tanzania.
I absolutely agree with you. On paper and in real strength, they are a stronger side. A Sudanese team should always be strong, especially when you mention they are on their day stronger than either Simba or young Africans. But the good thing for Rivers United this time around that Al Hilal are particularly not as strong as they used to be.
Okay.
You know, the last round against an Ethiopian side, they couldn't win any of the legs. They actually progressed on away goals rule after having drawn 2-2 and 1-1. And then there is a little bit of CAF not approving the Al Hilal Stadium in Omdurman, which means that Al Hilal have been playing their home games in Egypt. So Rivers United here in Port Harcourt on Sunday, they play in their home ground on a top they've never lost. Okay. On a top where they only dropped 2 games last season in the entirety of last season in the league. So they are quite familiar with that. Although last Sunday in a friendly match, they were also held to a goalless draw by Enyimba. But they know that pitch in and out, and that's an advantage for them. And if they are able to win and they are able to get a good win into the second leg, they know that they are playing the second leg not in Omdurman. Yeah. So Al Hilal will be deprived of that deafening supportership they have at home. That's the best you can get. And I do sincerely hope that Rivers United, so I mentioned motivation earlier on, the state governor has come out to also promise them $100,000 if they get to win Sunday's game alone, which means, there is one feeling from the government house in Port Harcourt that Governor Nyesom Wike really wanted a silverware before he leaves office next year. And that's one of the reasons they had this shake-up at Rivers United just about a month ago, which means that the club is now directly under the government house. And the last time you have something like that in Nigeria was in 1994 in the glorious area of Nigeria's Super Eagles, when the Super Eagles were directly being catered for from the government house. So let's hope that brings the magic wand for Rivers United, and starting from Sunday, let's hope that the money doesn't get in there. Because again, the last time Rivers United were promised a huge amount of money before a game, it was against the Enyimba last season in the Confederation Cup, and we knew what happened at the end of that.
All right, let's leave Rivers United, go and talk about Enyimba. You mentioned them already. They'll be in action in the CAF Confederation Cup. We're going to get to see the debut of Finidi George officially as a coach of Enyimba. What's Enyimba looking like at the moment? Because, like you said, the season is not on, so we've not been able to watch them recently.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a new side, yes, and like you mentioned, there's going to be the baptism of fire for Finidi George. I'm really buzzing for that, because at age 50, he has not really gotten his managerial career kicked off. So this time around, this is a platform for him. Enyimba, one of the biggest sides in Nigeria, no doubt about the fact they've always made appearances in group stage of continental showpiece, either the Champions League or the Competition Cup. I was in Omok because they had the 2-week closed campaign in Omok, River State. So I was there 2 weeks ago to see one of their friendly games, 2 actually on a day. And yes, I must admit that Finidi has a lot of work to do, but he is coping admirably. It's a new terrain for him. Many of his teammates, many of the class of '94, avoid working in Nigerian professional football league clubs like leprosy. But Finidi has decided to take up the challenge, and I've always believed that if there is any Nigerian club that can really help Finidi to get his career on track, it has to be Enyimba. They have the structure. They always recruit some of the best players in the league. They have the administration led by Felix Anyasiagu, and of course the minimal support, although he could have been better in terms of financial support from the state government, the Abia state government, but they can't really complain. They have at least minimal support. So for Finidi George, he's taking 18 players to Senegal. They flew into Dakar yesterday and before going by road to Steers, where the game will hold on Saturday. I hope that they are able to get a good result. The second leg next Sunday in Aba, they should finish it up. But again, like I mentioned for Rivers United, the league is not on. Infinity has only been able to play friendly games here and there. The game I saw in Omok was against Excellent FC, an NLU side. They won 1-0. Also, last Friday, they defeated a team that just promoted to the NNL, Campus FC 4-1 in Aba. And on Sunday, like I said, they were in Port Harcourt to play a goalless draw with Rivers United. These are the best Finidi could get to prepare his side. And I just hope that it's going to be enough. Lots of new players for him as well. But anyway, all the players are new because he's just getting to the job. But Enyimba fans will get to see some new players for the team. Goalkeeper Olonuleke will go from Abia Warriors. Only Adeleke and Lex. Okay, sorry.
Desire, kindly hold your thoughts. I know you can go on and on and on about Enyimba, but we need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll let you conclude your thoughts on Nigerian teams on the continent. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We still have David in the house. There's also Austin as well as Fisaya. Fisaya, before we let you go, the last Nigerian team on the continent is Bayelsa United in the CAF Confederation Cup, and it's safe to say they have the toughest task, right?
By every sense of the word. And for Bayelsa United, I think they are getting used to the underdog tag. No doubt, playing against CS Sfaxien of Tunisia, the household name, so to say, in Tunisian football, in Yenagoa, I think it's very good for them that they eventually got CAF to approve that Santos Siasia Stadium in Yenagoa for the game on Sunday. That's an added advantage. And again, like I mentioned, they are underdog, but they are getting used to that tag. That was the tag they held all the way through to the ITIL Cup final, which they won. And that was the tag they held against the Guinean side, although they can say, yes, that tie was decided over a single leg in Yenagoa. But the way they won convincingly. And that will surely give Sfaxien plenty to think about ahead of Sunday's game. They do not know this team. They do not know who Ini Kuruga Okadi is. They do not know who Emo James is. They do not know who Favor Martins or Victor Benyanda is. So it's advantage by also United in the first leg, if you ask me, if the players can live up to their giant killing potentials. You know, they are playing at home, they have the platform because the game will be streamed live. You know, the scouts will be watching to see. And whenever that result comes out, I strongly believe that Bayelsa United will win on Sunday. Wow. I just hope that they get a sufficient win that can give them enough confidence going into the second leg. I was discussing with Austin off record when we went on break about what happened to Aqua United. I think if Bayelsa United can get like a two-goal margin, wow. I don't want to go for 3 because they are playing Sfaxien. They're playing the top side. But who knows? It's possible. But I think if they can get just a 2-goal margin, they will go into the second leg in Tunisia. The bigger the stage, the bigger the chance for you to show your potential to the larger world. And I'm sure if Bayelsa United win on Sunday, which I think they will, then a lot of people will come to them. Like I remember the MFM story, although they dropped out from the Champions League to the Confederation Cup, a lot of scouts, a lot of journalists in Europe, people called me personally to find out about this club, you know, from nowhere that is doing well in CAF competition. And same can be for Bayelsa United. And I'm not saying once again that I strongly believe they win on Sunday because Sfaxien are playing an unknown proposition, and that will surely count it.
Desire banking on the elements of surprise for Bayelsa United to get the job done over CS Sfaxien. Desire, many thanks for joining us. Appreciate your analysis as always.
The pleasure is always mine.
Thank you. All right, all the best to Enyimba Bayelsa as well as Rivers United on the continent this weekend. Let's get on with the show before we look at the papers quickly. The Premier League is back after the 2 weeks international break. Thank God. Yeah. Anyways, games to be played this weekend. The big one for a lot of, I mean, not big for most fans in Nigeria, but for Watford fans, they're looking forward to seeing Claudio Ranieri take charge of his first game. And it's going to be against Liverpool, a very tough one. Let's listen to the pre-match thoughts of Claudio Ranieri on that game, and I'll come back to David Lainka. The Tinkerman is back for the 4th time, this time around as Watford manager, and is going to be taking on Liverpool in his first game. How do you see this one panning out? 1 minute before we let you go.
Not the sort of game you'd expect him to, jump into, but I love the vibes he's giving. I love how he's taking it one step at a time. He's not assuring I'm going to win. He's just saying that, look, I'll take, Watford to a place of safety. Munoz was only able to get 7 points out of 7 matches, and he was told to leave. Claudio Ranieri comes with a lot of experience. Last night on the show, I said, hope he's watching his blood pressure because he's 69. I think this sort of Watford job, comes with a lot of expectations. So he has said to his team, just give me a clean sheet. He's not asking for so much. Just for this Liverpool game, give me a clean sheet. And I said that, that responsibility will fall on Super Eagles defender, Trust Ekong. And Watford is a team, Tayo, that we need to take a good look at now because we have 4 Nigerians in that team. So we can only wish Claudio Ranieri and Watford all the best.
Indeed. Austin, thank you for your time as well. Got to let you go now.
Thank you so much, Tayo. Always a delight to be on the show.
Indeed. Thank you, Austin. Alainka, quickly, tough game to take charge.
Of course.
In your first game against Liverpool. Liverpool looking like contenders already.
Of course.
Even after just 7 games.
Of course, definitely. After their horrendous or near miss last season, they have to, show this season that their last season was a blip. So against Watford, they is avoid relegation, survival. That's the number one priority right now. So bringing in Kyrie Irving, he's had that experience before with Leicester City, saving them from relegation, then winning the league before he got fired after. But one thing is just to let them survive this time around. So taking one game at a time, and it should be a good one for him. The advantage is that because of some of the Brazilians in the Liverpool team, so who might not get to start. So yes, and this is an early kickoff, so that might be a bit of a favor. So him telling them that once a goalless, that don't concede instead. So it's just the first of many. So I feel the Claudio Ranieri should be able to get the job. The Pozzo family finally getting their man. They've been after Ranieri for a long time. So he's coming, and I think he can do the job for Watford.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Fingers crossed. We'll see how that pans out as well. So let's take a look at the papers before we close the show. Osimhen, its highest market value, of course, is on fire in Europe right now. It's only right. That's Complete Sport. As a paper we are taking a look at. Ebere Eze targets return within a month. It'll be good to see Berechi Eze return to action. Everton gets Iwobi boost for West Ham tie. So Iwobi missed out on the qualifiers because of injury. Looks like he's on his way back to playing again. Arteta to keep Martinelli or Arsenal. Leicester versus Manchester United. Iheanacho tipped to start against Red Devils.
Yeah, absolutely. Good one for him. He's got enough rest, so he should to start against Man United.
And the ex-Manchester United ace urges club to sign Wilfred Ndidi.
A good addition to me. I think he's one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League. So,
I agree.
And far better than most of those United DMs. So no disrespect, but
why not?
Why not?
Indeed. AC Milan joined race of goal poacher. That's Paul Onuachu. Eagle Star has changed his agents. Interesting. I was wondering why he couldn't get a move over the summer. Now it looks like the agent is the fall guy for that one. Anyways, let's go to Sporting Life. Everton versus West Ham. It will be returns. I talked about that already as well. So Barcelona deal. Pedri puts pen to paper on a new 5-year contract with a $1 billion what? Release clause. What's going on? Pedri's a good player.
Absolutely, they needed to tie him down. So one for the future, and one of the most busiest player in the last 1 year.
Incredible.
He has played over 60 games. So he's a big one, a bigger player. So that $1 billion release clause, they don't want to let him go. So, but obviously nobody's going to pay $1 billion at this point in time. But let's hope it works out. Let's just hope it works out. Fantastic player, good signing for or good extension for Barcelona.
Indeed, is one for now and for the future as well. So, like I said, it's just 18 and he's played for the senior national team, played at the Olympics.
The Olympics, he's played everything. For Barcelona. I hope he doesn't burn out.
Yeah, hopefully. Tyson Fury hints I could retire from boxing. I was very interested. Ibrahimovic back in Milan training. Ferran Torres out for a month. Wow. Big loss.
Big loss to Man City. Absolutely. Been very, very impressive for them. So let's see how that would affect the team. It would definitely affect them to a certain degree. But I feel they've got enough replacements to come in and show up that department for them.
Indeed. David Olayinka, I want to thank you for your time as well. It's your debut with me, must be said. Got to clarify that you've been on with Austin before. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend. I am Tayo Salam.